Why, hello there, friends, and welcome back. For those of you who are new, my name is Navi, and today we're going to be reading some more Am I the Asshole?
This was given to us by a tiny pastel unicorn.
Am I the asshole for telling a friend that I can't be there after her F-buddy died? My friend started seeing a guy who told her he was married and had kids. Oh, goodness. He just wanted a sexual relationship. She was okay with that, she said. 6 months later, she was mad that he didn't want to leave his wife for her, and she went to tell his wife. So that ended their little setup, but his wife forgave him. 4 years later, my friend contacts him on Facebook. She apologizes and tells him that now she's ready for just a sexual relationship. Everything's going great until 6 months later, after a quick morning session, he tells my friend he's not feeling well. He drives home and dies after getting home. Oh my. Whew. My friend finds out because she doesn't hear from him for some days and calls a mutual friend of theirs who tells her. So she didn't even know for several days? Yikes. She's hysterical when she calls me. I get that it's a shock. His wife has found their secret messages on his phone. My friend finds out the date of his burial and insists she's going. I tell her not to. She attends. His sister tells her to go home. Every time we talk, she's talking about him and how she's visiting his grave and leaving little trinkets and hearts and frames. I ask her if she's thought about how his wife and his kids might feel about this, but she insists that she's in mourning and this is her way of dealing with it. I might be insensitive, but I tell her I find it disrespectful. And that if this was her husband, would she want her dead husband's F-buddy doing that? So, in her own words, I'm insensitive. And probably an a-hole. I'm just confused when she told me many times that their rendezvous was just sex, and that's all she wanted. So, am I the asshole for putting some distance between this friend and myself and not being there as much as I possibly would have been? Well, OP, I'm just gonna call it and say that you're an asshole for staying friends with somebody who slept with someone 4 years ago and 4 years after continued to sleep with him. You shouldn't have stayed friends with this person. Yes, you should have thought about how his wife and kids might feel and broken off the friendship. Why would you want to be friends with somebody who treats other people that way? Oh, it seems OP has added an update. I know many are questioning my own morals by being her friend, me included. There are many things I wish I had done differently. After his death, she called me and she was hysterical. Her wanting to go to his funeral and now visiting his grave is something I've tried to talk her out of. I've never supported any of what she's doing with this guy. We're low contact now, and I'm coming to terms with the fact that I need to leave this lifelong friendship alone. We've known each other since we were little. Our moms knew each other and all that, so it's just gonna create some drama. Okay, OP, I get that this was your lifelong friend. I do understand that. I just don't understand why you would remain friends with her. If it took, 4 years and 6 months for you to stop being friends with somebody who was with a married man, knowing that he had a kid, I really don't understand, OP. I really don't understand being friends with somebody like that. Regardless of how long your friendship has been, if someone's willing to treat people that way, I don't think they should be your friend, and I don't think you should be theirs. But let's see what the comments had to say. Not the asshole. I would distance myself from somebody who thought all of that was acceptable. Well, she thinks you are insensitive says the mistress who showed up at his funeral. Wow. Yeah, in this situation specifically, I don't think OP is an asshole. I think that OP was right in telling their friend that they're not going to keep up this, they're not going to support this, but yeah, I'm going to deem this specific post not the asshole. However, OP, I would argue that you are an asshole for staying friends with this person for 4 years, knowing that they were cheating with somebody who's married and has a child. Am I the asshole for walking out of a wedding I was a part of and quote-unquote ruining the day? I dated my ex-boyfriend, John, of course it's a John, for 4 years and got serious enough where we started planning our future wedding, kids, etc. I thought we were pretty happy, but last year he dumped me pretty suddenly. I tried to figure out what went wrong, but he said it was personal and that I should respect his space. During this time, my best friend, Stacy, and her fiancé, Tom, were my rocks, letting me crash at their place and just being overwhelmingly supportive and loving. I really don't like where this is going. When Stacy asked me to be her maid of honor, I thought it was a no-brainer, and I happily took on the task. Fast forward to what happened this weekend. The morning of the wedding, Tom asked me to meet him for breakfast super early in the AM before all of the festivities. I thought it was weird, but assumed he maybe wanted me to pass something on to Stacy. What happened instead was that Tom let me know that a few days prior, Stacy admitted to him that she had had an affair with John. Of course she did. Because of course she did. Which was what led up to my breakup. He said that Stacy wanted to come clean and start their marriage fresh, and that he was forgiving her to move forward. He had gone back and forth between telling me and finally decided to spill the beans. Thank you, Tom. I guess he had expected me to forgive Stacy too, because the affair was so long ago. The opposite pretty much happened, and I just walked out on the wedding. It ended up causing a huge mess because I was basically running the whole show. Stacy made me do everything, so she didn't even know what was happening at certain times or who to call. Not only that, but everyone realized that the maid of honor wasn't there. She had headshots and bios of the party on her wedding page. Goodness. And news of the affair eventually got out because her cousin knew John. Stacy and Tom have both been slandering me online now, saying that I ruined their once-in-a-lifetime moment. Some of their friends are on their side, saying that I should have handled the situation more privately and at least stuck out the wedding since it was so last minute. I personally don't know what Tom expected, but either way, I'm getting bombarded with texts, and I heard that Stacy has been so upset she had to take time off of work, which does make me feel like an asshole, especially since I've been ignoring her calls. All right, OP, well, personally, I do not think that you are an asshole in this situation. See, if you had yelled at Stacy or ruined the wedding or been a general jerk at the wedding, then you would be an asshole. But the fact is, you just walked out. You didn't make a scene. You didn't tell anybody what was going on. You just left. And I think that was very big of you and very smart of you. And yes, maybe you could have let them know you were leaving or had some sort of, I don't know, agenda you'd written out so they knew what was going on. But honestly, she's the bride. She should know these things. I mean, having someone else run your whole wedding is such a silly thing to do. And if she had known what was going on, her wedding wouldn't have been such a mess. So that's on her. It's not your job to stay there and run her wedding. And yeah, you were the maid of honor, but I mean, she slept with your boyfriend. And I don't know, she's lucky that all you did was walk out. Because honestly, you could have gotten mad, and I probably still wouldn't have called you an asshole. Let's see what the comments have to say, though. Hard not the asshole with this one. Was walking out of the wedding on the day a nice thing to do? Not particularly, but what on earth did they expect would happen by telling you? And on the wedding day, they knew they were playing with fire. They chose when to tell you this information. Simply walking out, because whoa Nelly, I bet there were a ton of conflicting emotions, was pretty adult. You didn't cause a huge scene. You simply extracted yourself from the situation. Not the asshole. Yeah, I'd have to agree with this user on that. So wait, your best friend has an affair with your then fiance? He breaks up with you over it, canceling your happily ever after. She asks you to be her maid of honor, but everyone is upset with you because you found out she slept with your fiance, and you can't suck it up for a few hours to make her day great and start her happily ever after? Not the asshole. Yeah, this user makes such a good point, Technically, she ruined your wedding, so does she really have a leg to stand on being upset that you walked out of hers? You didn't ruin it. Well, OP, I'm going to have to deem you not the asshole in this situation. And I really hope that you find some better friends and you have your own happily ever after. All right, so this has been Am I the Asshole? We've got a couple of non-assholes on this episode, which is very good change of pace. I really enjoy reading these. I really enjoy making these videos. And I hope that you really enjoy watching them. I love you all very much, and I hope that you have a good day. Bye-bye.